Hello. Hello, hello. Oh. Good evening. Said I'd be live tonight. Because we gotta put a ribbon on this whole thing. Well, yo. Welcome to the Bloodborne after show. We have quite the show in store for you all today. Oh, we are gonna be reviewing, I guess you could say. Maybe not reviewing, reminiscing over this past season of the Souls streams. Howdy, Mythic. Welcome. You made it at the perfect time. I'm just about to get started. I've got a list. I've got a list of things that I wanted to go over about this game. Cause I gotta say, I think this was a very memorable game for me. That's I think that's really the biggest takeaway. That's right, I'm wearing the hoodie from the Bloodborne streams. Over there. I'm matching. Yeah, I figured it would be appropriate. Yeah. I don't think I've done a retrospective for any of the other Souls games like this. I definitely didn't make a Google Doc for it. But I wanted to do it for Bloodborne. I'm still gonna also do the boss tier list after the end. Yeah, this is Halo music, actually. This is, interestingly enough, this song is one of the recurring songs that pops up in just about every Halo game as a background song. It was called "A Walk in the Woods" in Halo 1, which is that was the version we were listening to. But the one in Halo 2 is called Heretic, Hero, which is kind of a badass name. But this is the rendition of it from Halo 2 that you'd probably recognize. But yeah, I'm gonna actually just keep music playing throughout all this because I don't really have any other audio to populate the stream with anyway. And this is straight up just computer share, screen sharing stream. I have over here paired my Google Doc. Let's get started. Let's talk about Bloodborne. Whoops, that's not the right thing. Where is it? I changed the name of the... There it is. Bloodborne. Alright, it's filling up a lot of the screen right now. It's gonna scroll up, though. We're gonna use all this real estate. The worst Souls game? Okay, so also I should preface this by saying I wrote this before I did the DLC. Most of this I wrote before I did the DLC. I came back once and added like one thing halfway through. And then right before I started stream, I looked at the title, and originally it just said Bloodborne, the worst Souls game. And I thought, well, that's a little mean. So then I said, well, it's also the best Blood one, so we can put that in there too. Because that's also true. Well, so it's not a Souls game. That, it's really not really an argument at all. Anyway, I figured if we're gonna rant, if there's the cons list is longer than the pros list, we should at least start with the pros so we can end on a bad note? Wait. Here's the good. The first thing, I'm just going to say the setting for this game is easily my favorite so far. Actually, I'm just going to skip to this. Like, both of these go hand in hand with each other. But I also, world design is coming in from more of a gameplay perspective. Setting is, I want to like talk more about the thematics of the whole thing. Dude, I'm getting thrown off looking over it and seeing myself in the hoodie. I'm putting on a different VOD. The setting and the world design though. Please tell me I'm not wearing the hoodie in this. Alright, maybe I just don't have a camera for this stream. No hoodie. Alright, this one's safe. So the Victorian sort of like, I don't know how you would describe this. The Gothic sort of like really narrow peaks and towers. I didn't think that I would enjoy it, because I haven't typically ever been drawn to this particular style before. Maybe it's just because I've never seen such a unique sort of flavor of it. Because just about everything that Bloodborne has, like even from like the design, like the church design, that like seems like they've taken some real world inspiration from stuff. It all still very much like ties into themes that are built around like the actual lore of the game, which I think is just, I mean, whoops, I realized I changed the volume, accidentally deleted or hid the list. Yeah, setting, world design. Yeah, I think setting is great. World design, I think, is also actually one of the best things about this game. I think actually it's even more true after playing the DLC. But the way that the world kind of, I mean, is a coherent sort of place. Like a single world that you gradually just sort of connect everything by the end. I mean, that's like, I mean, it is that more Dark Souls type of, I guess, gameplay, but I guess Demon Souls, I felt like there were shades of Demon Souls in just like the way that shortcuts kind of, I don't know, were implemented. Both of them were good though. Howdy, Corey. Yeah, this is the review stream. We beat Orphan. It was very easy. It took me, I think, like, I think it was the try after you left. I think I beat it. But yeah, Orphan was a good fight. Very. And now we're doing our little review. I'm gonna do some memes. And then I want to do the boss tier list, which is gonna be a little weird because I have to skip a few bosses in that. But that it'll still be good. Okay, next on the list of good things that I enjoyed about this game. How long total on Orphan? So I don't know. So that stream I killed Orphan at like exactly 6 hours on the timestamp. And I guess I had probably been trying him for like an hour or so, like last week. So 7 hours. That's what I'll say, 7 hours. So about the same time as Ludwig, I think. Or Lawrence. The DLC basically doubled the amount of time that this doubled. Here. Check this shit out. This up. All right. Well, it's kind of being blocked, but you can see this is the VOD playlist on YouTube. This is the This one here, number 7, all the way up to number 7. No, this was this one I beat Murgo's Wet Nurse. Everything after that is post Murgo's Wet Nurse. You can't see the timestamps, but like just the VODs alone, there's more post-game VODs than there are actual Bloodborne VODs. That's crazy. I didn't include that detail in the Google Doc. I actually didn't realize that until I counted it just now. But that yeah, that is that's my fun fact for the Bloodborne stream. New Game Plus definitely was the reason for that. You're absolutely right. But I think honestly I feel more satisfied after beating the DLC now. That felt, I don't know. It was so I can't explain why I liked it. It was just the immense satisfaction from all the effort spent. It felt worth it. Have you still not done the final boss? Yeah, I guess I haven't done Gurnam and Moon Presence. Is there another boss? Another final boss? Did I not finish the DLC? Yeah, I didn't do those two. I mean, after beating the game, I didn't even stream myself doing this part, but I speedran to Vicar Amelia, killed her so that I could do the DLC. And then I got to the DLC, realized that it was pretty much post-game content. And that I wasn't leveled for it. So then I farmed a shitload of levels to do the DLC, but I didn't do anything. Well, and then I actually played up to do the optional bosses that I had missed. So I did do like the that one great one that's like chilling under the under Bergenworth or under the church, under the catacombs somewhere. I did everything except for like the last two, and I'm gonna say that Bloodborne just didn't want me to fight those two. Yeah, a Britas, that's it. Yeah, I did a Britas, and then I did that one like alien looking thing, which was weird. They were both interesting. I don't regret playing up to them because it didn't actually take me that much time to do it. But at this point, I'm ready to be done with Bloodborne. I'm ready to put a cap on it. I will fight Gurnam and Moon Presence whenever Sony relinquishes their clutches on this game and brings it to PC, where it rightfully belongs. But I'm done with it on PS4. I'm satisfied. I got the ending that they wanted me to do. Did you do Ligarius? I don't know. I don't remember. Maybe not. Let's see who Ligarius is. Nope. I don't think so. Alright, so there's 3 bosses I didn't do. It's a shame. Alright, anyway, next thing. Sword/gunplay. I didn't think that I was gonna enjoy this after being super into just spamming roll in Dark Souls. Okay, Kanehurst is the painted world of BB. All right, cool. So then that's another thing that they pretty much didn't want me to find then. So I'll take that as mission complete, Bloodborne done. Good. Sword / gunplay. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I had to say. I wish that you could spam gun more. Gun was kind of hard, actually. It was very rewarding when you actually got it to work. I wish it was a bit more clear which enemies gun like would work on. I felt compelled to just not try gun on like most enemies because like eventually, I don't know. It seems like if you don't get rewarded for experimenting with the gun. You get rewarded for knowing exactly when to press it and then timing it perfectly. Yeah, that is a problem the whole series has with parrying, and I think parrying. I don't know why I say it like that. That has been a big part of Dark Souls, but I feel like there was never a Dark Souls game that encouraged it as much. Bloodborne, without really making it any more clear. So I will say that does sort of detract, but I do like overall appreciate what they were going for. And yeah, I think that's good. Next, I liked, so this might sound a little weird, but I liked the leveling system in this game, not because it was particularly good, but because it was simple. Like, it was pretty straightforward. I felt like I didn't need to really think very hard at all when I was spending my levels in this game. There's really only, so few things that you could spend them on. And if you wanted to do like the arcane the other builds, like that, you just have those other designated levels that are pretty much just for that one thing, which is pretty easy, simple for me to wrap my head around. Okay. All right, that's all the good. On to the bad. The new game plus mechanism. Let's talk about the end of the game. I didn't like it. I really think they probably should give me a little bit more of a warning after beating Murgo's wet nurse that we were kind of like we were done. Or maybe before Murgo's wet nurse, actually, that would have been a good idea too. Or maybe they should have made Murgo's wet nurse harder, because I didn't realize that was supposed to be like the end. That felt just like a spooky ghost on top of a tower. So that's why I wound up restarting the game way before I was done doing everything I wanted. So I had to put that one in the bad column. Next thing, this one I think everybody could probably relate. It just seems it's just pretty self-explanatory. This is PlayStation 4, which is, not the oldest console, but Bloodborne they put a lot into the visuals of this game, which I don't particularly hate them for, because I don't think this game would have been nearly as enjoyable for me without how pretty it was. But that did make it run at 30 FPS cap, and then during a lot of the best fights, it would get down to like 10. So that did get a little frustrating. And it goes in bad column. Wait, what happened? Did I not? Oh, whoops. Yeah. Having to teleport back to the dream to change your lamp. I was really mad about this because, and this ties into the performance / console in general. The loading screens are really long. So when you have to go back to the dream, it's like it takes forever. Um, Especially if you're just trying to like set your spawn point to like where you know, to your new place. Uh, that's kind of, you know, that's not epic. Um, yeah, I feel the same way about load screens. They're gross. They have no place in my video games. Another thing that has no place in my video games is sprint jump. And I'm not talking about the action of sprinting and then jumping in a video game. I mean very specifically the inputs that uh, when pressed. In this case, the inputs being double square or double circle. One of those PlayStation buttons are so weird. Uh, Hitting double square, even if you're trying to uh, not jump and you just want to roll, which is single square, still jump. I hate sprint jumping. Yeah, and that's what's crazy is that I kind of am not getting a very authentic experience because I toggled it off because I didn't play Prepare to Die edition. I have a very weird take on this one that I probably would have been perfectly used to if I didn't turn it off in Dark Souls 1. But I yeah, it is weird to give it so much flack knowing that I have technically played the game that has it. So I should be able to tolerate it. But even after playing through this game, I was still sprint jumping on accident against Orphan. I was like 40 hours in. Like it's like at some point I realized I was never going to not do it. I just had to accept that sometimes during fights I was going to randomly jump, which was weird. But you, Corey, do you do have the OG experience. I should have not turned it off in DS1. I mean, I definitely enjoyed Dark Souls 1 a lot more since I didn't. But I oh man, watching my stream in front of me is so weird cuz you can't even see what's going on. For some reason on my stream, I'm watching Nick's stream. Oh, you can see. Whoops. Where'd he go? I'm distracting myself with my own. Sorry. Oh. Yeah. I still have the habit of stopping my sprint early to avoid jumping, like in like Elden Ring. Oh. See, that's. I'm curious if that caused any actual problems for you, because I feel like that's a good habit to have. I mean, in Bloodborne, it's a perfect habit to have. So, I mean, if you're just doing it on muscle memory, it's probably like just like playing with it's like playing in an auto L cancel tournament, maybe. But um, so you know, maybe that'll be maybe that'll be a future stream someday. I'll have my sprint jump Dark Souls stream where I have to play through Dark Souls and I can't turn off sprint jump. I have to play through it the way the developers intended. I that I'm not opposed to that. That'd be just a good reason to play Dark Souls. Get your hands on PTDE. That stream content. Oh, prepare to die. Right. I think I have that. Or maybe I played it, or maybe Nick has it. All I remember is I was gonna Steam share with Nick. He had it. He had one version. No, he must have Prepare to Die. Because that's because I bought remastered after the fact. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Yeah. So that actually will be it. I'll just do Prepare to Die edition. That's I don't have to I don't have to play with sprint jump turned on. I'll just play Prepare to Die edition. Forgettable bosses / set pieces. This one was mostly about the screaming. I realized that there were a lot of just like really big, lanky, screaming things, and they did all kind of start to blend together. I can't really say that this is like actually like I don't know how much I blame Bloodborne for this, or do I blame myself, because I don't really I don't really remember a lot of bosses. I am gonna remember Ludwig, and I think I'll probably remember Orphan. I will definitely forget Lawrence, because Lawrence was actually kind of the same boss as the dude that's on the bridge, like above the area where I am right now. The what's it called? Lawrence. I'm mad about Lawrence though. I want to I want to spite Lawrence, because he shouldn't have been such a pain in the butt. Orphan's scream is, I mean, probably of the screams, to me, the most tolerable. All the other ones are just so shrill and uncomfortable. Orphans, to me, just sounds like more like a human being actually screaming a little bit. Or maybe it sounds like the Call of Duty zombie. That's actually what that's what it reminds me of. Hey, Kool-Aid, welcome to the review. We're hitting all the notes. I was really what's the word? I was really selling this game earlier. We hit on a lot of the goods. There is a lot of good in this game. I did just sort of scroll down to show what the rest is that we've got, because we do have a little bit more to go. But I think we covered the boss stuff that I wanted to talk about. Not really anything too major with that one. That's a very minor nitpick. Farming has absolutely fucked the VODs. I haven't actually gone back and watched them to see what parts are screwed up, but everything every time when I was farming on stream, I was watching Gordon Ramsay or other things. Yeah. So we had to cut out a lot of bits of the VODs and other stuff. But yeah, having to farm kind of forced, well, I shouldn't say forced. That was a bad call on my end to put on the copyrighted stuff. But the having to farm, if I didn't have to do that, we never would have had that problem to begin with, I think. You should make YouTube video game reviews. I might edit. I might start editing some stuff together just with this. I feel like I actually could script something a bit more coherent about my thoughts on this game. But honestly, my thoughts on this game are very confusing, even to me. I experienced so many strong emotions in every direction. Playing this game, it would probably be a very long video if I tried to script something. I do a little editing. It is a little. But Corey, you are right. It's not me. It wasn't my decision to watch Gordon Ramsay that killed the VODs. It was FromSoft that killed the VODs because they forced my hand. I mean, we're not gonna watch Gordon Ramsay while we're farming. That's what. I mean, come on. That's what we got to do. And thank you, Gordon Ramsay, for entertaining us while we were farming. But by this point, actually, you can't see this in the VOD. Let me hide this real fast so you can see. I had abandoned the watching Gordon Ramsay strat. I was just watching Nick's stream. This was after I this was after I had gotten mad at YouTube for blocking all my VODs. So that's another solution that we worked on. So this one was something that I think I could probably revisit, but the power scaling at parts of this game seemed very inconsistent. And I don't know. I think that a lot of that might have to do with playstyle. Just on my inability to adapt. But especially once we got into the new game plus range, nothing made sense anymore. And I really wasn't a too big a fan of the post new game plus power scaling being mostly based on blood gems from the Chalice dungeons. The Chalice dungeons, though. So that's the other thing, the other part of this game that I think, I will need to revisit at some point too, because my general opinion on the Chalice dungeons from a gameplay perspective is I don't really like them. Not that I don't think that playing them is fun, because I've never played them. I just don't think that they should exist. That's all. The short base game was kind of it was a short base game. I guess what I'm learning after the fact is that, I mean, in similar FromSoft fashion, it is, generally only a handful of bosses that you actually have to beat. And then they just, season the world with a couple flavors of side optional bosses here and there. But that's like a delicate sort of system, because you can have really cool bosses that are just sort of tucked away in very hard to find places. Or sometimes, in this case, you could, even know that there are bosses elsewhere that you intend to go back and do, but then find yourself in the end game sequence too early and then not be able to go back and do them. So that was a little bit of a bummer. After sorting all of that new game stuff plus out, though, I did need to find a way to up my farming game, because at some point, just killing enemies like I was doing, just it was no longer scaling enough. I think that's to be expected. Once you get to that point, the best way to farm is online only, which was a bit of a bummer to realize. Mr. Killer is a guy in my chat who told me about the Chalice dungeon. It's like a user-made Chalice dungeon called the Cum Dungeon, that when you load in and just walk through the first door, you get like 85,000 souls right off rip. So it pretty much is the way of getting souls as quickly as possible. So for keeping the pace of the stream going, it was pretty much essential. So I had to pay for PlayStation Online in order to access that. So I spent another $10 in addition to the $20 for the DLC uh to play the DLC. Uh so that's why that one's in the bad column. Um Weapons breaking, I get it. I just don't really think there was too much of a point in this. So stupid that there's a $10 fix to blood vials. Yeah, pretty much. That is, and it seems like it was. I still actually haven't looked up the full story of that dungeon. I don't think it was really From Software's wishes for that dungeon to work that way, or for that dungeon even exist for that matter. But man, I'm lucky that it's still there. And the weapons breaking, that's pretty much that. Not much else to say about weapons breaking. And then we can just now this is more. How do we do this? Oh, I guess you can just scroll down. Yeah, all right. Well, this is a little bit less precise when I can't do this. All right, stuff I didn't like, but it is just like regular Souls game stuff. I was always lost. That's very normal. That you can't really. That's just standard, par for the course. If you're watching Bear MD play a Soulsborne game, he's probably lost. I accept that. That is part of the game. I don't hate the games for it. I don't mind being lost, honestly. It's part of the fun. Target camera. I forgot. I didn't actually read this. Target camera is still a massive chunk of dog shit. Okay, I forgot. I was in a heightened emotional state when I was writing this part of the list. I didn't like it. It turned out that being using it against Orphan of Cause was almost like necessary. Yeah, I did. Target cam on Orphan, I would say it changed it completely changed the game. I I don't like not being able to sprint on a whim. Like being in target camera. Well, so like the typical way that I play, and I have played ever since Demon Souls. Demon Souls just taught me that if I want to be moving around, or if I want to be sprinting and looking around, then I need to be claw gripping. So I have actually been claw gripping from pretty much all of these. And I didn't think I was ever gonna. I never saw myself claw gripping, but it really doesn't feel too bad at all. And so once I got comfortable with claw gripping, I didn't actually feel compelled to try using target cam very much. And ever since I've just expected combat and like moving around enemies to feel like that. And when you're in target cam, in Bloodborne, I think there's a lot of different ways you can kind of tweak how your dodge works in Bloodborne, and I don't know if I don't actually know if there's a lot of ways, but I've seen different types of dodges in Bloodborne, and I didn't dig into that too deep. But I just always found that like in previous games when trying to like fight an enemy in target cam and I want to sprint, like I'll always wind up rolling or something on accident when I don't want to play with well, yeah. I don't know. But then once I went to phase 2 Orphan of Cause, that pretty much it didn't require me to use target cam. I think it actually probably would have been manageable without it, just based on how the last fight went. DM'd you info about the cum dungeon if you want to read it. Oh shit. Uh-oh. Zoomed in. Damn. I'll read the top line. Bloodborne experts have also figured out how to tweak dungeons via save editing, allowing for the finding of high-level gear before making requisite progress in the story. Oh. Oh yeah, I guess that really is just kind of like the way to cheat the whole game. And even populating them with unused bosses. Does that mean like deleted content is in there? All step dungeons. They include fantastic loot and stronger enemies normally found more dangerous in game areas. So it is like a weird little trick. They're doing some sort of... I like how it's just agreed upon that it's the cum dungeon. I think that's very funny. Well done, Bloodborne. Good job. Good job on the dungeon. Good name. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure I first tried this guy, in case you guys are wondering. We're watching this. I think. Hold on one second. Okay. Where was I? The list is missing. Ooh. Okay. Yeah. Target camera. I'm gonna try to use it more. I think I also wanted to say, I don't know if I did. Phase 2 Orphan requiring you to use target camera, like fundamentally, it makes it easier. Like there's no other way to say it, because I feel like claw gripping to use the camera is just sort of like a way of allowing yourself to be always moving the camera, and I guess you're reacting to the opponent, like to your enemy, as you move it, but like it feels almost fluid, like keeping your camera locked onto your opponent. The way that Orphan Phase 2 moved, there was no way. I guess it was just too fast. But maybe that's just the easiest way to say it. It was too fast for me to be naturally moving my camera in claw grip and not feel like I was like doing more effort. It was just more effort to move the camera against Phase 2. Having target camera on actually made a difference. So maybe we'll just delete massive. All right, next. Oh yeah, I didn't even actually read ahead, but yeah, this just goes back to the chalice thing. Why the fuck are there only 4 main headstones with like 40 fucking chalice things? I still actually don't get that. Like there are so many more headstones like on the chalice dungeon staircase than on the main game. Like the main stairs. I don't. That's weird. To me, that seems like it's just confusing setup for like the home world. to have so much real estate dedicated to non-story stuff, non-main game stuff. I know it is still tied into the lore though. The Chalice dungeons are like, that's kind of like, I think the depths of the Chalice dungeons are basically where all the blood comes from. We mine the blood from the great ones and we turn it into blood smoothies. Next, useless items everywhere. This is not exclusive to Bloodborne. I mean, that is this section of the list. I mean, at some point I do just like accept, like, if an area is a real pain in the ass to navigate through on its own, I will most of the time just not bother stopping to get the items unless it's really, really calling for me, you know? So yeah. And this last one is a little bit of a this was a fake criticism, but the way that it almost feels is with just like how prepared these games are for you to play pretty much forever. It's like, it honestly does just sort of feel like this is like this is your game now. You're a Bloodborne player. Which can be good, I think, if that's what you want. If you want this to just be your only game. But when you want to play all of the Soulsborne games in a row, and you're kind of trying to keep everything moving, then it feels a little weird. So yeah, and that's actually all the only things that I had on these lists. That kind of wraps up the rant portion of the stream. But it did have one little thing that I finished this off with when I wrote this. So this was written. I said this at the beginning, but I think most people weren't here yet. Most of this was written before I did the DLC. I wrote this. I wrote this literally like 7 streams ago, pretty much. So I was really mad. I just to show you guys, if you're just now joining, what the VOD playlist looks like. These first 6 VODs, this was Bloodborne. This was the main game. Everything after this, everything. I can't. Why can't I highlight from this direction? There we go. There's more post game stream than main game stream. And you know, i.e. best part of the game, Plaza. It's funny that you say that because I think I agree. Well, no, I definitely agree. The DLC is definitely the best part of the game, but I also think that doing it in the weird, fucked up New Game Plus way, making it like super hard and frustrating, I'm actually really happy with the quality of the streams that I did. Bloodborne, I think the Bloodborne streams will be one of my favorites. Funny enough, I'm immensely proud. Not kidding. They were good, but just wanted to put that out there before I finished this list of games that I had started, because this was written before I had done the best part of the game. So in case you're wondering, I mean, I put Bloodborne at the bottom. I was mad. I was so mad. But I think it was good. Actually, I don't know if I'd actually put it at the bottom. That's the thing. Is that now I played the DLC and my whole world my worldview has changed. I'm a different man now. Uh, it's good. Watch like 2 hour lore videos. I've started. That's actually we can actually let's rewind this back up to the good because I think I did a good. I don't want to undersell just how good these like especially this was like giga good. Best, my favorite of any of the games I've played so far. It like I've definitely I think I mean I don't know how long these VODs are. I think it's over 30 hours of time spent playing the game. I've definitely spent over 10 hours just like watching just random like either actual lore explanations or like fan like speculation based on like cut content. It's really good. Janky, yeah, I get it. I didn't have to actually play it. You know, I would say if you want to enjoy Bloodborne, um, yeah, I think Bloodborne is just you can appreciate Bloodborne in a lot of different ways. Uh, it's very rich lore, like super rich, like Jeff Bezos rich. So I'm really hoping the rest of the games following this are on this level because I mean, if they are, I I'm gonna have the best year of gaming of my life. I think. I think that actually wraps up the rant, but that's not the end. We have one more part of this stream we need to go for. Maybe someday I'll go back and learn the lore for DS3, Elden Ring, Sekiro. I I imagine it's gonna be good. I mean, for every game I've played up to this point, I have made a note to at least watch like a 2 hour like whatever like the comprehensive like explanation of Dark Souls, explanation of blank, like those long form videos. I think it's important to at least watch one for every game. I think for most of the games I've wound up watching a lot more. Bloodborne, I think I've watched more than any of them. I don't even think it's close. But yeah, it was good. And I think the Elden Ring lore, from what I've heard, is also like incredibly rich. I'm really looking forward to the Elden Ring lore. I'm gonna be trying it all. I have honestly very high. I'm gonna say I have high expectations. It's not just hopes. It's full on expectations. I'm bringing out the big guns. Now I need to. How did I do this before? I need to shimmy this window. Window. Okay, it's fine. I can block the tears. It's fine. Okay. Empty this out though. Flashback. Everybody remember Dark Souls 2? That's a good game. How do I? Here we go. Got no cookies on private tabs. Don't forget it. All right. Let's move our Bloodborns to the top. Let's zoom back out so we can do this fast like. this even worth doing? Absolutely not. This is a huge waste of time. Oh, wait, but it's split up by... Wait, what is this split up by? DLC... There's different shades of Bloodborne? So this is main Bloodborne. These, like, royal purples. That's Orphans. That must be DLC. Merciless Watchers, Sumerian Descent. These are Chalice Dungeons things? Chalice Dungeons things? I see. I see. All right, well, we don't need to concern ourselves with Chalice Dungeons. Not this time. And there's actually a few others that we don't need to concern ourselves with. Oh, bring our DLC up here. Nice. Okay. One day I'll play Elden Ring. One day I'll finish a video game. You can do it. Hey, but you know, it's got to be the right one. I don't blame you. There's a lot of good games out there. You don't want to finish the wrong one. Because what if you get to the end and you don't like it? Then you're going to feel like you wasted a whole game. Oh, right. Howdy. Sorry for the lag. It's a super delay stream. They get exactly one Chalice dungeon and then noped out immediately. I did do a few Chalice dungeons, but it was all the same. And it was never... No, I never did a Chalice dungeon. I just cheated. Consider yourself enabled, Amanda. Game to your heart's content. Or don't game. Or is not gaming the most advanced gaming of all? All right, let's have some tier list drama. We don't need S plus tier. We don't. And you know what? Wait a minute. No. Wait, we do need F tier. E tier is not a thing. Who doesn't E? Yeah, this is good. There's really fewer than I had thought that we're gonna have to rate. So we might not need all these tiers. Infinite games, but no games. If you're only playing one game infinitely, but what if that game is Tabletop Simulator? No, this is getting to... My brain's going to explode before I actually start using it here for the tier list. Let's start with a burritas. That seems like a fine one. This one is an interesting case because I skipped it. We're gonna put it in beef for now to talk about it. I skipped a burritas. And then I wound up coming back and fighting her in New Game Plus. But by that point, I was super over leveled because it was like kind of in the middle of the DLC. I was taking a little DLC detour. But the lore implications of Abritos, I think, are pretty cool. There's also a dead Rom hanging out in the same room where you fight her, which is kind of cool. The boss, I actually think this is one of the more interesting designs in this. It kind of does sort of stand out from like the general sort of beast / vampires theme that a lot of other enemies and bosses seem to have. I'm gonna start Abritas in A, and we'll see how we feel. We'll see how we feel after we get a few more in here. Okay. One Reborn. Let's... This one. This one, you know, I don't recall. We were actually watching the VOD of this one, weren't we? I think I kicked that guy's ass, right? I was definitely in this VOD. Yeah, somewhere. In short, I thought this boss was cool. Um, it wasn't the biggest. It wasn't the most challenging boss. I didn't have to spend very much time with it. I think I would have. I think I actually probably would have enjoyed it more if it was a bit harder. I actually think B is probably a good place for it. Oh yeah, yeah. We're all on the same page actually. I think that's. I feel somewhat reassured by you guys in the Chalice dungeon sort of mindset. I think once Bloodborne comes to PC in 2030, I'll play the shit out of Chalice Dungeon at that point because it'll be a lot different. Um, okay, let's think about this. Murgo's Wet Nurse. Hmm. So, in a lot of ways, Murgo's Wet Nurse is the final boss of this game. In my case, Murgo's Wet Nurse is just like that's exactly what's going on. The do this. There we go. Now things are a little bit less on top of each other. Um, I think it actually the build up to this fight was kind of cool. I feel maybe I am a bit foolish for not recognizing that I was at the end of the game. No, I didn't get to fight German or the Moon Presence, unfortunately, because I chose the wrong option. Uh, so that that is actually kind of what fueled the most of the anger that was behind a lot of the heated comments in this list. That was written about like an hour or so after I realized that I wasn't going to be able to fight like a lot of the bosses that I wanted to fight. uh but I don't resent the game nearly as much now after the fact because that's just how good the DLC was. God damn, the DLC it was just that good. Uh, I think Murgo's Redners. Okay, I would put it below Abritas in A. The DLC goes off so hard. I am. I honestly I recommend. You know what? If you're gonna play Bloodborne, I recommend you New Game Plus before the DLC. There you go. That's the Bear MD route. That's how you do it. You died. You let Gurnham kill you. You let Gurnham kill you. You get really mad about it, and then you instead of just starting a new save to do the DLC, you just play out. That's the Bear MD route. Trademarked. Oh, he's going for the Bear MD run. He's going to New Game Plus before he's finishing most of the bosses in the game. Oh wow. All right, respect. This guy's a gamer. That's what I'm going for. That's what I think people will be saying in a few years. They are crazy. They're gaming. This wait. I remember Amygdala. I remember being pleasantly surprised with this fight. This one was also weird because it had something to do with your insight, if I recall, or maybe it had to do with there was some weird jank with like being able to see this boss. Um, But I guess it was just because there's like a bunch of these types of enemies like scattered throughout the scenery in the what's that area called that I was in? Upper Yarnum? No. It doesn't matter. B I maybe the fact that it's a reuse. We need to start something and we need to get C started. We need to get C started off. I need to have a tier for I screwed up. Where's the add level button? Ah, here we go. Add a row below. This one I'm gonna call bad. In fight. And that's where Martyr Ligarius goes. Sounds like Martyr Ligarius is a pretty cool enemy. Pretty cool boss. There's an amygdala in Yarnum that you can't see until you get enough insight. Are you sure you remember which boss one Reborn is? The one Reborn is the one where the dudes come out and they like ring the bell, right? And the dead guy falls out of the cloud. And then suddenly he's reborn. Oh. Well, so there were parts of the castle that I missed. Because I don't think I fought Martyr Ligarius. If I did, then I don't remember. So I don't think I did. Sounds like that's a cool boss though. So that one is one I'm gonna have to check back in on. I definitely did miss a lot of cool stuff because in addition to him, I missed German and I missed Moon Presence. I'm also just kind of surprised I missed. That I missed Martyr Ligarius too. Because even like after beating the DLC, I like looked up optional bosses that I like, you know, because I even did go back through some more of the New Game Plus main story just to refight the Celestial Emissary, which I think is probably a boss. But I actually think he was kind of cool looking. So we'll put him in C. I'm looking up the fight, see if I recognize this. Damn. Oh, I missed this. Damn. Okay. Well, depending on how much game I have to play through to get that, maybe I'll come back to do this at some point. But this one looks like we missed. Confirmed missed. Rest of these, though, I think we've got. Yeah. I'm gonna need to do a Canehurst run next time. Father Gascoigne was actually I didn't like Father Gascoigne because I felt like I was being forced to use the gun. And then really after Father Gascoigne, I really didn't need to use the gun. There were most like you could really kind of do most things without the gun. And I would try to do most things without the gun. um, but it was cool to have a boss that you could use the gun against. There's a lot of them I know you couldn't. You know what? I'm going to put him above one Reborn just because of that. The Blood-Starved Beast. I fought this one twice. I fought this one in New Game Plus and in regular old New Game. Would you believe it? It's kind of just like a normal enemy, really. This guy, I think he could be a D. There wasn't really too much excitement with this. Yeah, you're right. You don't need the gun for Gascoigne, because I'm pretty sure when I fought him the second time in New Game Plus, I didn't use the gun. So yeah, it definitely wasn't required, but it did make him a lot more tolerable going through the first time. But yeah. Just eat some blood, homie. That's the secret. That's the secret to everything in this game. Just gotta if you're hungry, just eat some blood. I don't understand, how is this guy still so strong when he hasn't been eating blood? Like, he's famished. Like, he shouldn't be a boss. He should be like a low level, you know, like a hollow. But I guess that's just, maybe that's poison instead of blood. He's been fueling on poison. Hey, here's gamers. It has been what? It has been an hour, so it's a good time to get up and stretch. Oh shit, Nick, don't do that. What do you want me to do? Do you want me to finish my water? I'm just gonna have to get a refill. Okay, maybe that's good thinking, because then I can stretch. Because I saw that stretch redeem. We're gonna touch our toes. Nick, I'm gonna time you out or something. I don't know if you can do that for channel point redeems. Wait, yes, you definitely can. But I'm gonna unmod you. Better not still be redeeming hydrates. Oh god, I haven't stretched my hamstrings in a minute. That kind of. Oh, I felt that. I feel limber. Seem to be a little thirsty. Not anymore, dog. Also, howdy, call me Dante. Welcome to the stream. Hold on, give me 1 sec to actually refill the water though, because I do think I owe you at least one more hydrate. Quaslord Salsa with the Prime. Thank you for the Prime. 3 months. 3 primes. Thank you very much, Quaza. Much appreciated. I shall be back momentarily. Want me to finish another glass of water? This is like a 30-ounce cup. You're gonna kill me. My internet just died? What was that? Hold on. 1 step at a time. I'm back. Oh. I topped her off. There were a lot of sips. I took like a billion sips. Okay, at least a million. I think that settles. I think that settles it. uh, cheers, gamers. Rom, moving on. Nice. Yeah, I don't have. I didn't put BRB on the screen. Probably when I should have. Rom was. See, this is what's weird about Bloodborne is that you can have a boss that is not exciting really to fight very much, but everything else about it is really cool. Like the lore implications, the fact that Rom was perhaps deceiving us and our perception of the world up until that point. Very interesting stuff going on with Rom. And I like the boss like arena, just kind of like being in that open sort of void. The like the Shadow Link fight. So I think it at least deserves B, just because of the neatness factor. I think it's pretty neat. Put it in B. Yeah, it is cool getting into this fight, jumping into the lake. It's like there's no other boss that starts anything like that. There's no boss sequence that starts anything like that, and it is really cool. And it has I didn't even realize who the dude was at first, but the guy who's like sitting at the top of it is like the headmaster of Bergenworth, which from the story perspective is kind of like the creator, like the origin of all of the sequence of events that the game is based on. That was cool. Cool shit. Cleric Beast. This was like this. It was funny. I guess this actually might have been the first boss that I fought. I guess I fought him before Gascoigne. That makes sense. I don't remember which one I fought first. But after fighting Cleric Beast again in New Game Plus, I realized that Cleric Beast exists to prepare you for Vicar Amelia and for Lawrence. Because it is kind of just sort of like a watered down version of both of those two fights in a way. You definitely fight CV before Gascoigne. That's why it's you can get to Cleric Beast like seemingly like a few minutes after you start the game. Like it's pretty direct. I was actually pretty proud of myself for how quickly I was able to find my way back there in New Game Plus. I remember CB as the first boss. So part of me remembers noting the screaming. I feel like I remember hearing Cleric Beast screaming. And thinking, man, I sure hope that that's not going to be a theme. And it was. But that's okay. I remember as a boss when I played the game years ago. I think I think we had the same experience. I can't even remember. They both happen so close to each other now. Yeah. Not a bad fight. I shouldn't put him in D. That's not fair. Wait, he's definitely not worse than Bloodstar Beast. Definitely not. He can go in D though. Shadows of Yharnam. The three dudes of Bloodborne. I want to say I think these guys belong in C. They are the Nazgul. You're right. Think about that. Yeah, you're right. They're kind of just copies. They just stole from Lord of the Rings. But I'm gonna have to dock them some points there. As far as 3 dudes fights go, actually, I don't know. I really like the 3 dudes fight in Dark Souls 2. This one, I didn't like the area. I don't like the snake theme. I don't like, At best I can do is C. Best I can do. Vicar Amelia, I liked Vicar Amelia. I thought this fight to me seemed like I after fighting Vicar Amelia, I felt like I understood Bloodborne. Like this was, I think I'd started the appetizer. No, I'd finished the appetizer and I was ready for the meal. That's actually that's what Vicar Amelia was. She was the perfect appetizer to a delicious meal of Bloodborne. Witch of Warwick was the gristle that you cut off the steak. Dark Beast Parl kind of felt like maybe it was like Cleric Beast, but just bigger. And I think with lightning. I think there was lightning involved. I also, if I recall, Dark Beast Parl had a less than fun run back, like to get back to the boss area. So I was relieved to have beaten it in only one try, which definitely just one. This seems appropriate. Put him right next to the 3 dudes. Mikolash fucking sucks. I hate you. I hate you. It's like they decided I feel like they got to Mikolash in their point in development and they thought, okay, we've done a lot of boss runs where when you die to the boss, you gotta run for like 10 minutes before you get back. And all the fans love it. They're asking for more. What if we just turned that into the boss fight? And so that's what they decided to do with Mikolash. They just made you just fucking run for like 10 minutes. And then once you get him down to like his last quarter of health, he finally actually becomes a hard boss. So then you don't want to die. It's like I hated it. It was not cool. Best I can do is bottom of D. He's lucky he's not an F. But yeah. Quaza, I agree. It's just not great. But that is pretty short. Unfortunately, we weren't able to rank the 3 other main bosses this go around. But hopefully we will fight them in the future. I don't think this is the last time I will play Bloodborne. I would be sad if this was the last time I ever play Bloodborne. Yeah, that was the problem. In that last phase, I don't even know what you want to call it because it seemed like I think maybe it was phase 3 technically. He had one particular spell that would like send out just like a shitload of magic orbs. They all just fly and home in on you. I could not tank like that. Just one shot me. That was just one shotting me if it hit me. So I just sort of had to pray by the time I got to that point that he wasn't gonna do that move, or if he did, that I would somehow get lucky and avoid it. Worked out eventually. But yeah, that I was glad when that one was over. Speaking of over, that's the main game bosses. I think this is fair. I think if anything, I was pretty harsh. Um, on honestly, yeah. Like I think one reborn probably actually could be a bit higher. Let's do this at least. Not give Gascoigne that much credit. Not that great. Living Failures. Let's go on to the DLC. Of the DLC bosses, I think this one may have been the least exciting, maybe. But I liked the vibe. That makes sense. This was a very interesting boss area. If you recall, they were just sort of all like hanging out. It was just sort of like a garden with a big ass flower in the middle, big ass sunflower. It was very serene. And these guys move really slow. There's like 4 of them. They move really slow, so they're really easy to dodge. It wasn't like a super difficult fight. It's just the quantity of the enemies, I guess, makes it somewhat difficult. The one thing about this fight that I particularly liked, though, was their super attack, which summons a shitload of meteors, but it summons them from like the astral plane or something, and you enter into this weird sort of. Oh yeah, the meteor attack. Yeah, I like the meteor attack. It's definitely the coolest part of the fight. But I think it is probably the weakest of the DLC fights. So we need to keep that in mind when we drop it on the tier list. It feels actually very Celestial Emissary like to me. I think that's actually not a bad place. All right, let's talk about Lawrence. I did not like Lawrence. Lawrence to me kind of just felt like they decided they were going to take Vicar Amelia and just make her frame data really unfair. And his boss theme, though it was actually not, though it actually was pretty good, it wasn't as good as Ludwig's. I think, yeah, I think this, right. No, this is right. Actually, this is right. Fuck it. You can win B, Lawrence. You can be B. B. Nice. All right. Orphan of Cause. Pose. I'm glad that this was the last boss. This was really hard. It actually felt very like, I don't want to say solvable, but like I felt like I could experiment in this. Yes, yeah, that's right. That's right, Quaza. Cause, or some say Cosm. But we don't need to recite that. We'll keep it at cause. I don't know. I had a lot of fun figuring this fight out. I actually felt like I could feel myself improving as I went on in this fight. And I never got really tired or like frustrated. Nothing felt like I mean, there were definitely some times when I felt like I was getting robbed, but after a certain point, um, when I died to stuff, it was more of a this is, we know this. Why did I do that one move after I told myself that is, is we have to roll in when he does that attack or whatever. Like the late game frustrations were just me not actually remembering. It was user error. This is a good fight. I think if he's not in S tier, he's going to be on the top of A. And the only reason why I'm not putting him in S tier is because these are my S tiers. These are my two favorite bosses. Ludwig wins Bloodborne for me. That fight was that fight was remarkably difficult in New Game Plus. But it made it so exciting. And even after like just running it for like 6 hours straight, it was, I don't know, like still getting to phase 2 would like be, I don't know, it was heart racing. So awesome fight. Probably my favorite fight of all, actually, of any of the games up to this point, I think I would say. Damn right. It's just that good. Lady Maria, to me, I wish that Lady Maria was a like harder fight, because I wanted to have a Ludwig type ordeal with Lady Maria. It's like that, her kit and design seems so cool, and her theme was so cool. I feel like she, I don't know. I mean, the whole DLC was so perfect, but um, yeah, I just think that she was like a really good sort of cap on, like, hey, this is like, you're like kind of at the end of Bloodborne now. Like, this is the big deal shit. If Maria was harder, she'd be the best boss in the series. Yeah, I think so. Dude, I like, when I saw this, I thought this was Millennia at first. Like, I swear she had like, with the I think the fire attacks that I saw. I don't know too much about Millennia yet. But this just, yeah. That was a good fight. That one that one I'm looking forward to a lot when I come back to this game. I have to play WoW. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck wowing. This is it. Well, it's definitely pretty similar in a lot of ways. And from the aesthetics, ever so slightly. I mean, Lady Maria looks to be like the Bloodborne. I mean, Lady Maria is like, just, I mean, looking at this picture is such an iconic uh image. I don't know. This feels like captures Bloodborne's essence so much. How is Mikolash not an F? As long as we're all on the same page, I don't particularly mind putting him in F. I he I hated this fight. Just like all of it. It was all of the worst parts of every boss fight. I'll let you guys sway me on that one. Okay, now this is the final list. There it is. My Bloodborne boss tier list. Nip. Consider it snipped. Or how this looks on stream. Consider it snipped. There we go. I put him in effort. God, I fucking hate this guy. I don't know. Depending. I think G would be appropriate. This tier list looks a little silly. I think you should do it again. What are you talking about, dog? My tier list is goated. This is Corey's tier list. Corey's tier list is probably okay too. But mine's real good. Look at this. Where'd it go? This is epic. I can't think of a single thing wrong with this. Oh, okay. This part is... The part at the bottom is pretty cringe. Sucks that those guys didn't get fought. But, you know... I'm happy. I'm happy with it. Alright, let's see. I've got Corey's tier list up here. Let's see how we stack up against each other. Let's see who has the better opinion. Oop. Let me zoom. Oh, I see what's happening here. Is this visible? Oh, I am in the way. Get out of the way, Paul. Get out of the way, Paul's camera outline. Everything is in the wrong place. Golf with friends? Oh, yeah, I'd be down to play some golf with friends. I'm actually probably going to wrap up here in probably like 5 or so minutes. But let's see here. Gurman is in your S tier. I'm now seeing this is not. I'm off to a really bad start. We are in agreement though. Lady Maria is sick. Oh wow. Hey, you know. We're not too far off from each other here, Corey. We actually... So... Wow, I'm actually surprised. I don't think I've ever been this close to your tier list before, leaving out the ones that I've missed. Wait, where's your amygdala? Oh yeah, C tier. Yeah. Put a Britas and one Reborn a lot higher. That's fair. Yeah. Yeah. Well, mine's in A and yours is in B. That isn't the most extreme. Wait, what's the other one? One Reborn. Oh yeah. Yeah, okay. Mine's in B, yours in D. That is a pretty significant difference. But I'd say percentage-wise, though, pretty similar. I guess that might be pretty universal. Bloodborne, it seems like the ones that they did well in this game, they did super well. Like, these are the good bosses. I think I'm a Ludwig hater though. How so? Is it just the fight itself just not necessarily being interesting? Because I can sort of understand the I think maybe the disappointment with phase 2, despite how cool phase 2 is, it's not as threatening as it sort of lets on to be. I was a little, I wouldn't say I don't want disenchanted. Dude, the fight sucks, and he's dumb and ugly, and his hitboxes are atrocious. Okay, facts. All right, that's true. It is a bullshit fight. All right, I agree with you there. That's 100% true. I so that maybe I'm seeing. Wait, how did I do this? Oops. The I think that you are generally more fair with how you rank bosses normally. Uh, I tend to just say, like, or at least convince myself that the really frustrating bosses are just all bullshit. And then I just pretty much just rate them on vibes alone. I liked the vibes of Ludwig. He is ugly as shit, though. That can't really blame you. Can't argue with you there. And I don't really get the horse thing. I don't understand. I couldn't really even find any good lore reasons as to why he's been transformed into a horse. Weird. But the Moonlight Blade is sick. But he's also kind of just like the inheritor of the Moonlight Blade, right? Isn't that kind of just... I mean, I say that not in the Bloodborne lore. I mean that in like a meta, like the Dark Souls games always have a Moonlight Blade in them. And the Bloodborne, they just so happen to give it to Ludwig. I don't know. I thought that that's what I remember reading. Because I definitely remember getting the Moonlight Blade in Dark Souls 2, right? Because that is what you get from King Dark Souls 2. From the same game. From the game of the same name. Damn it. Problem with playing through all of these games in order is that everybody's names keep going in one ear and then out the other. Because I keep getting new names. Bloodborne almost didn't have the Moonlight Blade. Oh, you're right. Yeah, I guess you're right. It was a DLC weapon. I didn't even think about that. Oh, and the Whirligig saw. Dude, the Bloodborne DLC was huge. That was like a game-changing DLC. Like, I didn't realize. No wonder it's $20 still. Like, that's like a whole. They basically doubled the game. For me, they literally did. That was actually more than double, I think. So it was worth. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna say it. Final closing remarks. This has been my favorite chapter of the Souls streams so far. Just overall, as a complete package, Bloodborne, I just think these were great streams. And I'm super happy to say that we've done it. And now we have Dark Souls 3 to look forward to. I put in for leave. I'm taking off work on Thursday. I'm gonna start Dark Souls 3 on Thursday. Because I'm really looking forward to it. It looks sick. Everybody else is really excited about it too. I think it's just gonna be a lot of fun. So yeah, looking forward to Dark Souls 3 in literally 2 days. 2 days. I'm gonna call it here though. That'll be it. That's the Bloodborne after show. Thank you for watching. I'm very honored to have been your host for the evening. I will be shutting stream down, and then I think I'll be on Discord playing golf with friends if that's what's going on, because that sounds fun. So hopefully I'll see some of you guys there. Thank you everybody for hanging out. Appreciate all All the chatting. Mythic, Quaza, Corey, Call Me Dante, K Kool-Aid. Karai was in. I skip Karai. Where'd Karai go? Hyperflame. Quaza subbed for. Oh, thank you for the sub also. Please don't tell me I missed somebody. Could also be a CS angle as well. That's that. Hey, gaming's that's my language. Sounds good. See you soon. Thank you for watching. Bye, guys.